let's get into my Scream franchise ranking. So, I've had to put a lot of thought into this. It's changed a lot from what it used to be like after watching the seventh film in the franchise. So, number one, I have the first Scream. I feel like that maybe that's cliche, but at the same time, it's the first one that scared me, pulled me into the franchise, and kind of like shaped pop culture. Everyone kind of knew who Ghostface was, even if they hadn't really watched the film, and everyone wanted the Ghostface costume, even kids. But yeah, everything is perfect about them. We're introduced to Dewey. He's one of the funnest characters ever. And then him and Gail are starting their little romance. Sydney's great in this one too. I feel like she's perfectly expressing the grief over her mother's passing, wanting to still be a regular normal teenager, but also kind of like struggling in a way emotionally. And her best friend Tatum is so cool. Everyone deserves a best friend like her. Someone that's always trying to lift you up, make you feel better. And she's also just in her own way, very cool, chic, edgy. And then of course Billy and Stu, they are like the face of Ghostface. Even though we have so many people that play Ghostface, it's just that their special friendship was so iconic and strange. It was kind of almost sometimes even in like scary movie, they are made fun of to be kind of like almost like they had a romantic relationship. Now, this one is big for me. So for number two, it was always the second film, but lately I don't feel the same way anymore. I've rewatched these over and over, and I also had a little marathon before seeing the latest film, to where I have decided to put Scream 4 down as number two in the ranking. Scream 4 really, I felt like Scream 4 came later on in 2011, and I felt like when it came out, I felt like it was made for me. I don't know if a lot of other girls felt that way at the same time, because it's kind of like they're giving it to the younger crowd again, like the newer gen. And I was in high school. I was watching this on repeat because the girls in this movie, Kirby, Jill, they were in high school. And even Rory Culkin is in this movie. He plays Charlie. It's just crazy. Like the opening was like boom, boom, boom. And it just kept tricking you and getting more brutal and grotesque. And then the storyline was pretty great. It was about Sydney even coming back to town, but it was more about her cousin and her cousin's friends, everyone else in her high school. But we were also given a lot of storyline between Dewey and Gail, who they're just, which makes me really happy. Gail is very feisty, sassy, and getting jealous over his partner, which was really funny. Even Adam Brody was in this movie. So yeah, I like who plays Ghostface in this one a lot. The reasoning behind it. I love when Jill says, "I don't need friends, I need fans." I feel like it's really iconic for girls, maybe. For number three, can you guess which movie is number three? For number three on the ranking, this is one that I actually didn't watch much at all growing up. I hadn't seen this movie until I hit probably adulthood, and I really didn't know much about it. It felt kind of like cheesy probably the first time I watched it. It still is a little cheesy, but after rewatching and rewatching, I think it's probably the coolest one out there style wise. It has some great music involved. Even Creed made a music video for this movie. It's cool because Cotton is in it again. And the introduction is crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it probably has one of my favorite ghost faces ever, Roman. We learn that Sydney has a long lost brother. He's coming back for revenge because he feels like this animosity towards her. He never got the attention she did or his mother's love. And then he was also, in a way, fighting for his mother because we learned that Sydney's mother was involved in films where she actually fell victim to an SA type of situation with producers. It was really interesting to see Scream kind of go in that direction with shady like film productions and producers and directors. It feels very Hollywood. Number 4, I have the latest Scream movie, Scream 7. I actually knocked it all the way up to place 4. I had that much fun watching it, and I can't wait to own this one. Like I had mentioned before, I did feel like the reveal was kind of random until I really thought about it, and I love the idea of a psycho fan that's obsessed with Sydney and got upset that Sydney went away. She got out of the spotlight, so I think it's great. After that, though, in place number 5, I have Scream 2. This one I used to think was like the best one, especially because of the movie theater opening. But after rewatching it, I just don't feel that same way anymore. I don't know if it's because there's kind of like a dull spot in the middle where it feels like it doesn't get as exciting as the rest of the film. But I mean, we got Sarah Michelle Gellar in there. She looks great, and her kill was crazy. She jumps off a balcony. And even Billy's mom is one of the ghost faces. So that was cool. It's really great to see. It's great to see. It's good. It's just like makes sense, that his mom would be upset about everything that happened in part 1 with Sydney killing her son, and she still was pretty bitter about Sydney's mom cheating with Billy's dad and making their family tear apart. So in place number 6, I have Scream 6. Of course, I have fun with this movie, mostly because it's around Halloween time. I really love the subway scene where we see all the different costumes. You see Pinhead. I think I saw Mojo Jojo. I know there was like Michael Myers, multiple ghost faces, all kinds of stuff. I think even like the Shining twins. But, oh, I especially love the bodega scene. I know there was like an issue with Ghostface using a shotgun, but I thought it was pretty cool. And although I just don't know, I also really did appreciate the opening. I love those one-liners that Ghostface has. That now I see something red, and who gives a F about the movies? He has some really great lines in this one. Well, we actually learn there's even more ghost faces involved in part 6. It was a whole family, but which connects to part 5. So it makes sense. And last but not least, I have Scream 5, Scream 2022. I think it's a good film. I think it's well produced, well acted, but I guess because we're introduced to completely new characters, maybe that's what was kind of lacking for me. Like, I wasn't getting as involved with the characters' feelings as much. And we lose Dewey. So sometimes I think that's why I don't like part 2 as much, because we lose Randy. And maybe I didn't like Scream 5 as much because we lose Dewey. I don't know. but it was still a good film, and it was for Wes. You know, everyone was just trying their best to give us a good Scream movie. But overall, I would say the entire franchise is pretty strong. Since I have this Scream 2022 at the end, it's like, even though this isn't high on my ranking, it's still a great installment. So that's just how strong the franchise is. You're good with whichever one you choose to watch, you're probably gonna like something about it. And you might feel opposite about it too, I don't know. But so that was my Scream ranking. I pretty much have all the movies. I got one of those like triple feature sets. Scream 4, my favorite. And this one's so much fun, like I mentioned before. But let me know if you agree with me or which ones you would switch around. Thank you for watching my horror videos. I hope you'll have a good and spooky day. Goodbye.